Hi, hello, and welcome to a video. Yes, a video about my switch from QWERTY to Colmac. Now, if you don't know what Colmac is an alternative keyboard layout that's basically supposed to be more efficient than QWERTY and Dvorak, while being still nice and easy to use for QWERTY users. Now, the reason I wanted to try this was one, because I just wanted to try it, number one, and two, because it would basically be helpful for, overall typing speed, for enjoyment and relaxation while typing, which is something that, I do a lot of. So, to switch from it, pretty much you just have to go to Colmac's website, and pretty much you can go ahead and download it. It's very simple. And sort of easy to install. Just gonna have to change some language settings in Windows, and that's pretty much it. It's really simple, and there's no fuss really necessary. The hardest part, of course, is actually learning it, right? So my starting typing speed was around 70 to 80 words per minute, pretty comfortably, and probably a little lower when programming, because you're actually thinking about what you write, or at least I hope you're thinking about what you write. So doing this really took down my typing speed when I switched, which is to be expected, of course, because you're switching the entirety of how you type. You have to unlearn stuff, you have to relearn how to type, essentially, and for a lot of people that can take a very long time. For example, if you're older than me, you're going to take even longer to do it than how I did. Pretty much I started at that 70 or 80 range, and within the first day, obviously, I had dropped down to basically 5 or 6 words per minute, which is pretty awful. Within the next few hours of switching, though, I started to go back up and ended the first day somewhere around 20 words per minute, which is, basically a quarter just lopped off of your typing speed. However, over the next week or so, I pretty much, it was actually pretty good for, in terms of improvement. It's pretty consistent and pretty linear, a few more words per day every single day, and then over the weeks, it sort of adds up to a certain point where you get to about like 60 or 70% of the way there, and then you start diminishing even more, right? You're going to basically revert towards the mean, and then you have diminishing returns up towards that point. So for me, it took about a little bit over a month to get back up to that same 70s, 80s range, although it's still a little bit lower than that 70s, 80s range, and this is the time of me writing this, or rather, narrating this review of typing. It certainly isn't that bad if you can make the switch, and I've definitely noticed that it's a lot easier to type, and I definitely feel like I'm getting the hang of it. Now, of course, in another 2 or 3 months, I might actually probably have a different opinion on it, and it might be faster than before, or I might start noticing other things about the typing patterns. It's pretty nice right now, and I think I'm really enjoying it. It's basically not even in my primary thought, it's just sort of a subconscious thing that while I'm typing, I'm thinking, hey, where are the keys and all that. Now, one of the big things that really becomes a problem when you're doing this is games and other applications that use certain shortcuts. Thankfully, the way that Colmac works is that it pretty much keeps all the ZXCV all in the same place, so pretty much your common shortcuts that you already know, Control-C, Control-V, all that stuff is pretty much self-explanatory. And initially I basically wanted to go for Workman, but Workman shifts those around too and it messes it up, and it became a lot more annoying in the few hours that I tried it, so I ultimately made the decision to stick with Colmac. For games and other applications, you can usually just remap your controls, so it doesn't really matter too much. And some applications, actually, they go ahead and, for some reason, they use the position on the keyboard rather than necessarily the actual, key character value, which makes it a lot nicer when you're trying to do some basic stuff. As for if I recommend this to other people, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it unless you're really typing a lot or doing something similar to that. And if you're going to do it, you're going to have to go full cold turkey. At least that's how I found it to be pretty useful. I went ahead, switched my phone to use the same sort of typing scheme, and I used the keyboard, same typing scheme. And then even on Macs, Linux, stuff like that, ColdMac is one of the ones I think that you can select by default without having to really do anything. When I work with other computers, because I do IT, sometimes I'll have to switch back to QWERTY, which, takes a few minutes to, jog your memory and get back to typing at a reasonable speed. But once you get there, it's not too bad, generally. The other thing is that you can probably go ahead and use their computer or use a flash drive with something called Portable Layout, which is basically the portable version of ColdMac, which you can just run a temporary sort of command to do, so that you can type normally on their computer, or normally for you, right? And then you can close it out. I haven't had to do that yet, but if I ever had to, that's how I would go about doing it. So I hope you kind of enjoyed this sort of different type of content, but I hope you guys have enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.